Welcome to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast with your host, life coach Jeff Relaford. This podcast is designed for those who wish to change their inner self in order to maximize outward potential. So come redirect, regroup, and refocus with your number one life coach, Jeff Relaford.
Hello, everybody, and thank you again for tuning in into another episode of the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. So it's me, your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you, through all these, as the old folks say, highways and byways, the radio waves of the intranet here. So, I just wanted to be funny in that moment. Ha ha, he he, but, light humor, whatever. But, today you are definitely going to be in for another episode that is going to help out with some more accountability. You know what I mean? Kind of get you to realize some things. And, we just going to really jump to the point of this. We're going to dive right into it. So I had a situation, to where I had to really think about some stuff this week. I'm not going to go deep into the situation. I'm not going to dive right into it. We're not going to do a deep dive. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? But the points I'm going to make are going to be very impactful, and you'll be able to understand where I'm coming from. So how many of you all have ever been in a situation where you were giving? Okay? You were giving, and you realized that a person wasn't taking or receiving what you were giving them. Okay. Now, I'm saying this, people, because what we have to learn is this. We have to learn to only help those who want the help. I'm learning because I know how to do a number of things, and there are certain things that I can help people with. But what we have to do is we have to learn that when we give, sometimes we don't have to keep giving. Sometimes we can keep giving a little bit, or we can give one time. And that can be enough. Oh, here we go with the yawning, people. Here we go with the yawning again. Jesus, okay. So here we go. But, we don't have to give a lot, and sometimes we have to realize how to limit our giving to people sometimes and for people. So this is what I mean. If you have a specific gift, if you have a specific talent or skill that you can offer to other people, sometimes it's not best that you go ahead and actually insert yourself in for free to help people sometimes. And I don't mean for like platforms like this where I go ahead, I'm able to give y'all 50 minutes of coaching. You know what I mean? For free, where you can go ahead and listen. That's not what I mean. What I mean is let's say, for instance, I know how to edit video, okay? And I'm learning that when you do help people, sometimes you have to learn how to really just give them a little bit. Don't give them everything. Maybe give them some. I do photography too. So give them some pictures, give them some photos. You know what I mean? You don't have to go full blown with an edit for video. I know how to do it. Oh man, I must be tired for real. Yeah, it's been a long day. I'm sorry. But I can give them a little bit for videos as far as the editing goes and everything, and I'm just really learning how to live. You have to limit yourself sometimes to people, because what happens is you end up you give a lot away. And you don't realize sometimes how much that ends up taking away from you. You know what I mean? I really encourage you all, if you are listening, if you have a gift, talent, or skill, stop giving it away. I mean, just giving it away. Like you can, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say just stop giving it away, because that's kind of harsh. You know what I mean? You if you have a heart, if you want to help people, that's a lot of times why us as people, we get into the service industry, because we're providing a service. We want to help people. We believe that we have something that can truly help change people's lives. That's why we are in the service industry. So just limit how much you give to certain people sometimes. Because every time you give something to somebody, that doesn't mean that they'll always use it. Okay? That doesn't mean that they'll always use or implement what you are giving to them. Prime example, I will use myself as I do so many times. As a life coach, I give all day. I give all day, directly and indirectly. I give, This is me indirectly giving because I'm not doing a one-on-one session. You know what I mean? So I don't have to hear pushback from you all. You all can develop your own pushback in your mind, whether or not you want to actually change your perspective and your view of what you feel and how you feel in that moment without coming back to Life Coach Jeff and saying, you know what, this is how I really felt about this. No, what I do is with the podcast is, what do, people? I place the accountability on you to actually make the decision for yourself, right? That's what I do. I put the accountability on you so you can make the decision for yourself. Now, there are some that I work with directly, okay? When I give it to them, I get pushback, which is fine. It's fine. It's okay. I have no issue with it because I am working with you. Now, when I say working with, I'm talking about those people, some of those people who have paid. Those people who have paid, okay? That's what I mean. When I'm working with you, those people who have paid. So I'm prepared for that pushback because that's a part of the process. But there are also a few who I give free to. So I'm willing to work with you one-on-one, okay? Or I make myself available for certain gifts or certain things that I know how to do. And the question is, people, when you are a giver, what do you do when the people that you are giving to do not receive? What do you do? Do you keep on giving? Are you the type of person that should just keep on giving? Because, you feel in your heart that God told you to give, and that's fine. You can give. But is that giving depleting you? I'm not saying that it's bad to give. I'm telling you to recognize your giving and how you give it, and then notice how the giving affects you. Still give. You can always do for people. You can have a heart. I'm not being harsh with this. I'm just kind of dropping it in your spirit so you can actually analyze how you actually give. And there it is. Boom. That's the title for today's episode. Analyze how you give. Okay? I need you to analyze how you give because you have to notice, you have to be aware of the fact that giving can deplete you sometimes. And if you are not giving to people that are willing to receive, that's sometimes people that can wipe a lot out of you. Some of us are just looking for people to follow instructions. I don't know what type of service business you have. If you do have a service business, or if you're looking to provide a service to people someday, just know that sometimes you will want people to follow instructions and they won't do it at all. Even if it's something that that has worked for you. Sometimes people, they will not do it. And you have to be okay with that. But along with you being okay with it, nobody said that you have to stay there. Now, remember, I made the comment earlier and I said, I have paid people. I mean, not I have paid people, but I have paid clients. So with those paid clients, they pay me so I can get pushback from them. It is okay. But I'm talking about those people that you give freely to. Okay? I want you to think about that. Those people that you actually give freely to. Are they taking advantage? And I'm going to say this. Sometimes people take advantage and they don't mean to take advantage. Okay? I'm not saying everybody's cruel. I'm not saying everybody is just using you. No. But you have to be aware of when people are truly using you, directly or indirectly. So that doesn't mean that they bad. That just means that, you put something out there and they don't wish to receive it. So now what you have to do is you have to make a choice. And sometimes this can be a hard choice, people. It can be a hard choice to back away from the people that you want to help the most. Think about that. That's very hard sometimes. It's hard to back away. I'm going to repeat that again. It's hard to back away from the people that you want to help the most. You can even go into an area where people need your services. I have done this. Gone to an area where I knew people needed my services. And I was still not received, or I did not get the turnout that I thought I would get. Now, that has nothing to do with me because I know what I provide. But it has everything to do with the demographic, the area that you are in, along with the people that you are around. I want y'all to make notice of that. I want y'all to really recognize that. If you are a person that has a specific skill set, knowledge, and you put that out there for everybody, know who you're giving it to. Know who you are giving it to. And sometimes stop being so giving. Stop being so giving. Once again, I'm not saying do not have the will to help your brother or your sister out. That's not what I'm saying. And I need to repeat this because sometimes people like to take certain things that you say and they'll flip it. And this is just people. This is just human beings. It's not like I feel that I got somebody watching or listening who's going to take it the wrong way, but people can take it the wrong way. So I have to kind of, provide a baseline. So I'm not saying people are cruel. I'm not telling you to be mean or cruel. I'm telling you as a person who is offering and giving, sometimes you have to stop giving. Sometimes you have to stop enabling. Sometimes you have to stop trying to propel people forward who do not wish to propel forward at all. Or if you inserted yourself into their vision, it's not up to you to propel them forward because they didn't go looking for you. You sought them. You saw a need. You tried to help fulfill a need, but it turns out that wasn't the need that they really needed fulfilled because you are the one that offered help. Okay? You got to think about that. Think about how many times that you've actually offered help to people who didn't ask for help. They might have accepted it, but they didn't ask for it. So think about it. At the time, sometimes, depending on who you're talking to, they did not need it. Okay? It always depends on who you're talking to. So once again, I'm not saying don't give. I'm not saying don't help people. Don't give to people and don't help to people. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is know your limits. Know your limits. Analyze and assess your giving. Recognize if it's actually depleting energy from you, taking away from you more that it is adding to you. Example. If you are mastering your craft and you helping this person is actually enabling you to master your craft, that's a 50-50. As you get better at what you're doing, okay, somebody might not receive what you are doing. And that's okay. That is completely fine. But then I say it's a 50-50 because you have to know your limit. Like I said earlier, you have to know your limit of giving. You have to be okay with the fact that, okay, I did this and or completed this for a person. Now, what are they going to do with it? Right? I gave this person advice, but are they really going to listen to me? I gave them the complete keys to complete a specific task that they want to complete. But are they going to put the keys in the ignition and turn it and drive? Y'all feel what I'm saying? These are the things that you really have to think about when you want to help people. And these are the things we don't want to talk about. These are the things we do not want to talk about when it comes to trying to help people. We think that if we don't help people, or if we put a limit on how much we do, we think that's going to stop and block our blessings. We really do. And I don't believe that, because your body will tell you. My cousin tells me this all the time. Your body will slow you down if you won't. If you are the type of person that loves to just go out and run and do everything that you can for people, sometimes you will have to sit down and you will have to take time for yourself. Okay? It's okay to rest. It's okay to tell people no. It's okay to say yes, but within reason. It's okay to say yes and give people stipulations. Say, I'll only do this if you really want to do it like this, and this. And if they tell you no, it's not the end of the world, because somebody else will tell you yes. It is okay. So I'm challenging you all. Work over getting that hump. Okay, work over getting that hump of giving so much. Okay? And give because you want to. Don't do it because you have to. If you do it because you have to, you will deplete yourself. But if you give because you want to, you will find joy in it. And then you'll be able to make an informed assessment of where you are trying to go from there. By that time, you will see if that person has done enough or tried to do things that you have put in front of them to complete. You'll see it. You can lay it right at their feet and ask, what are you going to do with it? It's strictly up to them to make that decision. You do not have to make that decision for them. Know that. And then, after it's all said and done, after you assessed, be comfortable if you have to back away. It's okay if you have to back away for a little bit of time. You're the only person that's going to beat yourself up for taking time for yourself. Oh, man, I wish I could have did this. But you need to rest today. You need to get some sleep. You're tired. You need to spend more time with your family. You need to spend more time with your wife, your husband, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews. The line in the list grows. Okay? When you give, but take time to still find the need to also fill your own soul. You feel me? Make sure that you are still going to find your peace. Like I tell people, y'all know me. I believe in God. And it goes without saying. That's my thing. I don't care what you believe in. I feel that if people have some pathway to peace, that's cool. But my particular pathway to peace is God. That's what I do. I'm not saying that's what you got to do, but that's what I choose to do. So that's my pathway to peace. I go ahead and I have my talks with God, and that's what I do. That's what kind of brings me down. You know what I mean? Because I could be up from trying to give to people, but then I have to mellow out a little bit because I will get in my feelings. I will overly assess what others do. And I shouldn't do that. So I recognize that I overly assess, and what do? I take that issue to God. I take that issue outside of my hands, because you have to still realize that, once again, what did I say earlier? That you cannot control people. You have to allow people to be people when you give. And then you're able to make a better informed decision whether or not if you want to continue to help or to give to this person, or if you should back away. Because like I stated earlier, if you give, you have the potential to become an enabler. So there must be limits to your giving. Must be limits to your giving. And for all my churchy people out there, I did not make and or relate this to a biblical reference. I have to say this because there will be some people listening to this and say, well, God says this. I did not make mention of what God says in the scripture in the Bible the whole time. I didn't do that. If you want to take it to that portion, you do that in your own time. I'm talking about in terms of what you give to others, meaning your time. Internally or externally. What I mean by internally is in your mind, your thoughts, where you want to go next, how you want to make something better for somebody. That's internally. And externally is when you actually, by the work of your hands, manifest what it's supposed to be. And what I mean by the work of your hands made manifest, that means that you just put the plan into motion. That's what that means. You put the plan into motion so you can produce something. You have to be able to gauge that. You have to be able to see if somebody's actually receiving what you put out. That is how you end up making a better informed decision on the direction you need to go next. So, all right, you all. I didn't want to be before you all too long today. I just went through a certain situation to where I actually had to assess my giving, and I made a decision to pull back a little bit and direct that new energy somewhere else. And put time into someone who is actually going to do some work. Okay? Because as a life coach, I look for people who going to do some work. Internally or externally. Because you cannot get what you want out of life. Okay? You cannot get what you want out of life by remaining still. Maybe if you a monk, you can. Because they teach the monks they be in that zen, they be chill. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but I saw a video on TikTok of a guy who was supposed to be some odd years old, and he was still alive, but he was frail and he was breathing, and he had just found the inner peace so much that he was just chill and still. Old man looked like a mummy out here. But hey, that's his thing. I ain't gonna knock it. At all. That's his thing. That's what they teach them. But yes, assess people. Come on now. I'm sorry. I know I said I didn't want to be before y'all long, but I have to drill the point in. Y'all have to be able to assess. Y'all have to be able to assess your amount of giving to people. Now, for my married folk out there, I'm sorry, y'all, I thought I was done. But for my married folk out there who's listening, because I am married. So for my married folk out there, when we talk about giving to a spouse, to my young people, maybe I'm not talking to my older folk, but to my young people who are listening to the podcast now, I'm speaking to y'all. When you give, because I'm 32 years old, when you give in a marriage, okay, Michelle Obama put it best. She said in the early years of the marriage, the 5, the 10 years, sometimes it was 80-20, 70-30. Now, this is vice versa for him or her. A lot of times we just want to quit because we feel like we're doing so much. But if there's a consistent pattern of you always doing the 80 and the other person doing the 20, that's a problem. That's a bit of a red flag. But if it's flip-flopping and the person that you are working with is willing to bend, you don't leave because you have to do the same thing. when you assess your giving within marriage, we're going to talk a little bit more, people. I'm sorry about that. I got to get on this. When you assess your giving within marriage, that is an everyday process. You're not going to wake up one day and say, okay, I gave enough. Now I'm done. No, this is an everyday process. It doesn't let up even in my marriage. And it's up to me. I have to show compassion. Yeah, my wife is going to show some compassion because she is a woman. She is a female. Women are more emotional than men. We know this. We just know this. It is a fact. It is a fact. So, but I have to be willing to show compassion for the things that she does. You know what I mean? I have to, sometimes that I have to take away a little bit in order to cater to her specific needs sometimes. And it's okay to do that. Excuse me, because my needs are being met too. Don't think for now 1 minute that she does not do the same for me. Because she does every single day. So that's what I want y'all to take out of this. Assess your giving within people, and when you're married, come on now, this is an everyday process. The game don't change. The game does not change. So, all right, y'all. I thank y'all for tuning in and listening to the redirect. Oh my gosh, I can't even say my own business, y'all. Crazy. I thank y'all for listening to the podcast. Y'all already know I'm gonna cue the outro. But I just want to let y'all know personally that I thank you all for tuning in, recurring, and listening. So, yes. So until next time, people, we will be back next week. And remember, analyze your giving. All right, y'all. Peace out. Love y'all. Thank you for listening and tuning in to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. We do thank you and appreciate and value you as a listener. Now, I would like to just throw in, please follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram as Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, and also Life Coach Jeff Relaford. You can also find me on Facebook as Jeff Relaford. That's my personal page. Go ahead, give me a follow there. I always put up some good inspirational content. And also the business page, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus on Facebook as well. So, all right, you all, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we will be here again. Remember, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. I love y'all. Peace out.